Hello, everyone, and welcome to Canadian Geographic Trivia 2020. I am here just dealing with some audio issues right off the top, of course, but I'm here. I'm the social media editor for Canadian Geographic, and I am so excited to play this trivia game with you today. Since you're here, we want to know where you're from. Throw your team name in the chat, tell us where you're at. I'm going to put up the rules and we'll get started to play in just a few minutes. So all you have to do is grab a paper and pen. That's how you play. You'll keep track of your own answers as we go. We ask you to use the honor system, so don't Google your answers. And please don't put your answers in the YouTube chat. You want everybody else to have just as much of a shot, so don't spoil the fun. After each round, if you're interested, please share your score with us. We want to know how you did and what you thought. And you get to see how you stack up against everyone else. There's no prizes. We're all just here to have fun. We'll get started in a minute. I'm chuckling at some of your team names here in the chat. Thank you so much for sharing them with us. It looks like we have people joining us from all across Canada, and that is amazing. It's not too late to jump in and get started playing. So if you know someone who is not here and you really think you want to test your skills of what they know about Canada against them, all you have to do is share the YouTube link with them and invite them to play. We are about ready to get going. We're going to play 3 rounds of trivia. You'll have 3 regular rounds with 10 questions each, and the questions will be up on the screen for about 45 seconds. After each one of those rounds, we'll have a speed round, and the questions will be on the screen for only 20 seconds, so a little bit more challenging. We'll take a short break in between rounds so that you guys can stock up on snacks again, get a drink, use the washroom, and I can catch my breath, and attend to my dogs, who I'm sure you'll hear barking at some point. So if you have any questions, just throw them in the chat, but make sure you don't put any answers in the chat. So round number 1. Are you ready? I hope you're all ready. Here we go. Question number 1. This community is the highest town in Canada at 1,383 meters. Is it A, Lake Louise, B, Banff, C, Calgary, or D, Jasper? Moving on to question number 2. True or false? Quebec is the largest province in Canada. Question number 3. Which New Brunswick brewery is the oldest independent brewery in Canada? Question number 4. Mount Logan, Canada's highest peak, is located in which Yukon National Park? A, Kluane National Park, B, Ivvavik National Park, or C, Vuntut National Park? Question number 5. Which of the following Great Lakes is smallest by surface area? Is it A, Lake Michigan, B, Lake Ontario, C, Lake Superior, or D, Lake Huron? Question number 6. True or false? Virginia Falls in the Nahanni National Park Reserve is more than twice the height of Niagara Falls. Question number 7. Nunavut encompasses some 1.9 million square kilometers. What portion in a fraction of Canada's landmass is that? So to clarify, we're looking for a 1 over number. I see a couple people in the chat here lamenting not paying more attention in grade 5 social science and geography classes. Hope everybody else paid more attention so that they're getting some of these answers right. Here we go to question number 8. I know there's a lot of Ontario people in the chat, so they might know this one. Toronto's CN Tower shares this honor with the Panama Canal, the Golden Gate Bridge, and the Channel Tunnel. Question number 9. Which national park in Western Canada became the country's first when it was established in 1885? Question number 10, your last question for the regular round. What is North America's easternmost point? Sorry about what looked like a small freeze there. I see people in the chat talking about. I am just working from home like the rest of us these days, so I am. If you could see my setup, you'd probably be quite shocked at what I've put together. We're all just doing what we can, working off that home internet, probably not as strong as I'd like it to be. And that's it. That's it for your regular round. Those questions were up on the screen for 45 seconds each. We're going to move on to our first speed round. Now, these questions are only going to be up on the screen for 20 seconds each, and they're actually not really questions. They're photos of wildlife species, and we're going to ask you to name that animal. So there's not going to be a question, and I'm not going to read anything out to you. As you see each animal come up on the screen, you're going to want to name which animal it is. Are you ready? Here we go. There's a bonus in it here for you for question number 4. We're looking for what this animal is commonly called, but if you can also tell me what it's called in Inuktitut, you get a bonus point. That's it for our first round of Canadian Geographic Trivia. I hope you guys are having as much fun as I am. If the questions look familiar to you, you might be someone who picks up this from time to time on the newsstands. It's our Canadian Geography quiz, the special collector's edition. These come out once a year, and we've pulled all of our questions for trivia out of these books. If you have them at home, go find them. I won't tell anyone. While I have you here, I just wanted to mention that it's Giving Tuesday. If you're not familiar with what Giving Tuesday is, it's a day when nonprofit and charity organizations are asking for help. What we do here at Canadian Geographic is many things, but among those, our education team has put together a brand new platform called the Online Classroom. That online classroom is providing activities, resources, lesson plans on an almost daily basis that are easy to use at home. So if you're fighting the homeschool battle, make sure you check it out. In order to keep doing these kinds of things, we need help. We need you to give us a little bit of support. So if you're able, if you're willing, you can either go to cangeo.ca and click the donate button, or you can send e-transfers to donations@rcgs.org, or you can click the $ at the bottom of the chat and send a little our way. We'd really appreciate it, and it would really help us put together the amazing programs that we put together for all of you. I'll be right back with your answers in just a second. All right, ready for those round one answers? Here you go. For our regular rounds, question number 1, Banff. If you wrote Lake Louise, you were close. Lake Louise is a hamlet. For question number 1, it was B for Banff. And for question number 4, Kluane National Park was the letter A. So if you just wrote down the letters, that's the ones we were looking for. For question number 5, Lake Ontario was B. How'd you do? How'd you do? Oh, some 6s and some 7s. That's so good to see. Great job in there, everybody. Some 8s. That's awesome. Great job, guys. Good job on our 8s there. Oh, props for the round. Go to our geography teacher in the comments here, John Corso. Way to go. That's fantastic. Nicely done. I guess we all need to be geography teachers, or we just need to pick up those quiz books so we've got the questions around. All right, let's take a look at the answers for our speed round. That picture of a snake was a prairie rattlesnake. That's southern Alberta and Saskatchewan's poisonous snake. It is, however, not Canada's only poisonous snake. The other one is the Massasauga rattlesnake, which is found in southern Ontario. And that's where I am. I'm hosting today from Windsor, Ontario, way down here at the bottom of the province. It was cold here today. Rattlesnake does not count by itself. But good try, Alex. That second picture there was an osprey. It's larger than a hawk, it's smaller than an eagle, and it's Nova Scotia's official bird. So that's pretty cool. Do we have any East Coasters in here kicking around? Hey, nice, awesome. So this speed round here is actually out of 11. Remember, there was a bonus point in it for you if you could name an Arctic ground squirrel in Inuktitut, and the answer there is Siksik. You guys are having so much fun here in the chat. I love it. While you're hanging out in the chat, if you take a look below the video, you'll see a thumbs up. We'd love it if you would give us a like here on that video. We're going to take a quick break here before we move on to round number 2. I will be right back. All right, guys, I'm back. And before we get started with round number 2, I wanted to let you know that I have a surprise for all of you. If you don't already subscribe to Canadian Geographic magazine, as in you don't get it in your mailbox twice every six times a year, which I don't know why you wouldn't. But if you don't, then use quiz 30 on the cangeo.ca/subscribe page, and you'll save 30% off a year's subscription. This code is only good for a week, so you better act fast. Just go to cangeo.ca, type in quiz 30 on the subscribe page, and you'll knock that price down from $28.50 for the 6 issues to $19.95. That's a pretty good deal, and it's just for you guys playing here with us tonight. All right, here we go. Let's get rocking for round number 2. Everybody back? Everybody ready? Question number 1. The community of Alert Nunavut, the world's northernmost permanently inhabited settlement, is located on which Arctic island? I just had a friend text me and say, "Excuse me, there are Arctic islands," so I guess she's probably not getting the answer to this one right. I hope the rest of you are. Let's go question number 2 for round number 2. True or false? Newfoundland has more varieties of spoken English than anywhere else in the world. Question number 3 for round number 2. Which Newfoundland city is both the easternmost and oldest in North America? Question number 4. This species has longer migrations than any other mammal on the planet. Round 2, question number 5. Which lake is the largest lake entirely within Canada? Round 2, question number 6. The 2.6 kilometer Carcross Desert, located north of the town of Carcross in the Yukon, is listed as the world's blank desert by Guinness World Records. Round 2, question number 7. What is Canada's largest island? Round 2, question number 8. The fossils of the biggest and oldest Tyrannosaurus rex ever found came from which part of Canada? Round 2, question number 9. About how many times would France fit into Quebec's 1.5 million square kilometer landmass? Is it A, 2 times, B, 3 times, C, 5 times, or D, 11 times? Round 2, question number 10, our last question for the regular round here. True or false? L'Anse Meadow, located on the tip of Newfoundland's northern peninsula, is the first evidence of Europeans in the Americas. That's it for your regular round for round number 2. And before we move on to our second speed round of the evening, I just wanted to pop in and tell you all about our society shop. If you go to shop.canadiangeographic.ca, you'll see all of the great Royal Canadian Geographical Society branded items that we have for sale, including this awesome toque, which I love, although it's not really toque season anymore, so maybe a pair of socks or a t-shirt is more your style. Jump on that site, take a look at what's available, and we can make sure it gets shipped out to you, even though the mail is not cooperating these days, but we'll do our best. Shop.canadiangeographic.ca. Here we go for speed round number 2. These questions are all about Canada's north. Question number 1. When did Nunavut become a Canadian territory? Question number 2. What does Nunavut mean in Inuktitut? A, our land, B, cold land, C, barren land, or D, ice land? Question number 3. For nearly 30 days in the winter, the town of Ivvavik, Northwest Territories goes without what? Question number 4. This round, mostly white bird lives in Nunavut year-round and is the territory's official bird. Question 5. What's the special ingredient in the Sourtoe cocktail, created in Dawson, Yukon? Question 6. True or false? The Aleutian Islands are part of Nunavut. Question 7. This map, created by Gerardus Mercator in 1595, is the first depicting what region? Question number 8. How many countries does the Arctic Circle cross through? Question number 9. What's the largest city in Canada's north? And question number 10. True or false? More of the Arctic Circle passes over Russia than over Canadian land. That's it for our second round. I will be right back. We'll go over the answers. I'll have a little bit more information for you about CanGeo and all the great things we do here. For now, if you need to top up your drink or grab another snack, or maybe it's time to start putting the kids to bed, we'll give you a couple minutes and we'll be right back so that we can play our last round of the night. Well, I'm definitely glad that the kids can stay up for this one. And for those of you asking how many drinks you're supposed to be having, it is Cinco de Mayo, so I hope you've also had some tacos along with those drinks. While I have you here, I just wanted to say again that we really appreciate those thumbs up that you can give us on this video. Definitely helps us. And if you're interested, that $sign at the bottom of the chat window is called a super chat. And with that super chat, you can send a small donation our way, which helps us put together these great events. If YouTube payments are not your thing, you can also send an e-transfer to donations@rcgs.org, or you can go to cangeo.ca and click the donate button to find out all of your other options. And if you're really interested and you're having tons of fun, make sure you subscribe using that Quiz 30 code that we gave you. That'll get you 30% off 6 issues, a 1-year subscription of the magazine. We'll get started with round number 3, our last round for the night, in just a minute. I was talking, but I'm muted. That has to happen at least once a time, so it's fine. Here's the answers for round number 2. Remember, we want to know how you did, so throw those scores in the chat. I also see that we got our first super chat. Thank you so much, Alex Way. Alex Way, I believe, is playing from Ottawa, Ontario. So thank you so much for donating to us and helping us put together all of the awesome programs that we do here at CanGeo, including our online classroom, which is a brand new endeavor from our education team. Looks like there's some awesome scores coming in here. Some 8s, some 7s. Great job, everybody. Mike Orser, thank you so much for your donation. And you'll see up there on this screen that we have another event coming at you next week. That's right, 1 a week here at the CanGeo team. So that is another of our CanGeo Virtual Talks series. If you didn't tune in last week to Jill Heinerth, you definitely missed out, and you can go back on our YouTube channel and watch it from start to finish because it is fantastic. And I am really looking forward to this next event coming up on May 14th. It's at 7 p.m. Eastern, and it's with world-renowned ultramarathoner and Royal Canadian Geographical Society Explorer in Residence, Ray Zahab. He will captivate you with tales from his incredible endurance expeditions around the globe. He has run 7,500 kilometers across Africa's Sahara Desert. Could you ever do that? Because I certainly am not anywhere near ready to do that, or will I ever be, probably. But maybe if Ray takes me out for a run, which he has promised to do so, will be good. So don't miss this exclusive opportunity to hear the secrets of one of the world's top endurance athletes. He'll be right here on our YouTube page on May 14th at 7 p.m. Eastern. That's hosted by our very own digital editor, Alexandra Pope. Andrew, thank you so much for your donation. Let's move on here to our speed round answers for number 2. So as you go through, tally yourself all up. So far, we are out of 40 plus a bonus, so 41. So I want to know where you're at. What's your score out of 40, guys? How you doing in here? Well, it looks like we did much better on this speed round than we have on a couple of the others. I see some 9s in here. That's fantastic. Yeah, Michaela, that sourdough cocktail is not on my drinks order. I can tell you that much. I don't know if I'm that adventurous. Although I would really like to go to Dawson, Yukon. May skip the drink. You guys don't need to go back to school. You just need to make sure you are subscribed to Canadian Geographic magazine. We are award-winning independent factual journalism. And don't forget, I gave you all a code, QUIZ30, so you can subscribe and save 30% off your subscription. That's a whole year of magazines coming at you for just $20. So I really don't think you can beat that price anywhere. And once we're back out in the world, of course, you can pick up our Canadian Geographic quiz magazines, and those have even more awesome Canada content coming at you. All right, who's ready for round number 3? It's our last round of the evening. I think it's a little bit easier. We've even themed the regular round for you as well. Round number 3. There's just not a 3 on the screen, so that's awesome. Good job, Angelica. Here we go. Question number 1 for round number 3. What is British Columbia's wettest spot, receiving an average of 6,650 millimeters of rain each year? Question number 2. True or false? Approximately 8,000 forest fires are started by lightning strikes each year in Canada. Round 3, question number 3. Hailstorms are most common in which province? Round 3, question number 4. True or false? The Grand Banks of Newfoundland are considered the foggiest place in the world. Question number 5. No two snowflakes are alike, but they always form with this many sides. Round 3, question number 6. Which of these is a Canadian invention? Is it A, the UV index, B, the humidex, C, the wind chill factor, or D, both A and B? Thanks, Eric, in the chat there for promoting our likes. Once again, if you just click that thumbs up button, give the video a like, certainly helps us go a long way, and we really appreciate it. Question number 7 for round number 3. What's the term for these smooth sheets of thin, dark sea ice formed in calm waters? Question number 8 for round number 3. The little community of Snag, Yukon holds which weather record? Question number 9 for round number 3. Which hurricane caused significant damage in the Maritimes in July 2014? And question number 10 for round number 3. Yellowgrass and Midale, Saskatchewan share the record for the hottest temperature ever recorded in Canada. What was it? Before we move on to our speed round, I just wanted to say thank you again so much to the people who have given us donations in the super chat on YouTube. So that's Alex, Mike, and Andrew. Thank you so much for your support. We really appreciate it here at CanGeo. It helps us put on these amazing programs like trivia, like our virtual talks, plus all of the educational content that we create on a regular basis, including our online classroom. So thank you again so much. If you are so inclined, that super chat is still there, and there are numerous other options for how to donate on our website. We're going to move on to our speed round. Number 3, we're going to ask you to identify some places using pictures. Remember, these go a little bit faster, so you only have 20 seconds with each picture on the screen. The timer appears to have failed on this one, so I'm counting to 20 in my head. And on this one, you'll see that little Google Maps dot, the little red pin. That's the place we're looking for. And that's it. That's your speed round for round number 3. We'll be back in just a minute with our answers for round number 3. Part of why these breaks feel so long is because it is so quiet in the background. YouTube requires you to have licensed free music. So if you are a Canadian musician or you know a Canadian musician who might like to let us use their music in the background while we play, please ask them. Let them know that we're doing this and that we would love to play some of their awesome music. Here are the answers for round number 3. It says round number 2 at the top, but it's round number 3. For that last question there, 45 degrees Celsius, I'll let you have the point if you were within 1 on either side. So if you wrote 44 or 46, you can have the point. All right, and here are our speed round answers. James Bay for the first one. Penticton is that second one there. Number 3, picture number C is what we were looking for. That's where Tobermory is. The rest are Bermuda and the Caribbean. Fun fact, Tobermory is known as the freshwater scuba diving capital of the world. Definitely on my bucket list. For number 4, you're looking at the Peace Athabasca Delta. It's a globally significant wetland within an enormous unfragmented wild landscape in northern Alberta. Remember, I put a little caveat on this one. It's not in Canada, of course, but it is the only peak in North America taller than the Yukon's Mount Logan, and that is Denali, Alaska. It peaks at 6,190 meters. Question number 6, that is Lake Erie. I'm a little biased, but it's my favorite lake. And what's happening here is, of course, an algae bloom. Warm weather and phosphorus carrying runoff cause huge blooms of this blue-green algae and let them flourish. Number 7. This is a small hamlet at the ocean end of our most northerly highway. And it's a town of about 900. So there's not a whole lot of people there. For the last question, yes, we'll give you Mount McKinley. Feel free to take your point for that one. Number 8, this is a picture of the Torngat Mountains. For Nicholas Scott there in the chat, the Kamalka Lake is green not because of the algae, but because calcium carbonate, or limestone, forms crystals, and it's covered in the lake there, and that reflects the sunlight and creates those distinctive blue and green colors that you see in that lake there. Number 9 here is Tombstone Mountain. And number 10, that red dot there that we were looking for, the red marker, is Baffin Island. Throw your scores in the chat. We want to see how you did. We are also open to any feedback. This is the first time we have run trivia, and we had so much fun putting it together. It took a whole team of us to do, and we loved doing it. We are hoping to run it again in 2 weeks' time. So give us any feedback that you have, other than maybe it was a little too hard, and we will hopefully be able to go ahead and do this again one more time. Look at those scores out of 60 coming in. This looks like you guys did fantastic. some of those high scores in here. We've got 46 and a 42, 45, another 42, great job, guys. That looks like you guys did awesome. We can't thank you enough for tuning in tonight. We really appreciate all of the support that you've given us here at CanGeo. Don't forget, you have that code for 30% off a years-long subscription. It's quiz30. We can type that there in the chat for you so that you have it in front of you. All you do is go to cangeo.ca/subscribe and type in quiz30. You'll get 30% off 6 issues. If you have any feedback about our trivia, please feel free to let us know. You can send us an email, you can send us a Facebook message, you can leave it right here in the YouTube comments. We'll see it, we'll discuss it, I promise. I just wanted to remind you again about our next event coming up on May 14th at 7 p.m. Eastern. That's another virtual talk that we're hosting with Ray Zahab, so make sure you tune into that. We are very excited to hear all that Ray has to offer. I'm just going to take a quick look here at the chat. We are hoping to run this again in 2 weeks' time. So next week will be Ray Zahab, our virtual talk, and then the week after that on the Tuesday would be trivia again. So thank you again so much for tuning in. Once again, my name is Angelica. I'm the social media editor here at CanGeo. So if you shoot us a message on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, I'll be the one that reads it. So send me any feedback you have, and we hope to see you at our next event.